As many people know, today on March 14th, 2018, Stephen Hawking died. He had Lou Gehrig's disease, and of course, he was supposed to only live a few months, and he ended up living to age 76. He was a brilliant physicist, and all this stuff. And of course, in this video, I'm discussing mainly how some Christians are responding. Not all, but some of them. If you read some of the comics, especially like on FoxNews.com, it's all basically the same. He's busting hell wide open. He was a fool. And in a way, yeah, they're right about the fool remark in a sense. Because at the time that verse was written, you would have to be a fool to deny God, because you would be executed. So, of course, you would be. Of course, this is from sky.com. It's news.sky.com and Stephen Hawking's. But that just tells you how great these Christians are. And that's all they have is the threat of hell. So many people leaving their religion. They're having a hard time getting people to join their cult. So they have to threaten people with hell. And think about this. Think about it now. They have to threaten people with hell. Think about Kim Jong-un, Stalin, all these dictators, Adolf Hitler, all these people. They had to threaten their people with torture and death, and even torture and death of their families if they left the country, or if they threatened the lives of any of their followers or any of that stuff. It's no different. And if you read their Bible, the Christian Bible, especially the Old Testament, God's basically a thug. And I know, but that's the Old Testament. I already did videos on that nonsense. And their God is, their Christian and Jewish, their Christian God is very specific, that God's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And it says that both in the Old and New Testament. So get off that crap, okay? That makes no damn sense. The fact that Christians have to constantly, now this is not all Christians, the liberal Christians, some of them, there's still some of them that talk a lot about this hell crap, but some of them are moving away, God's love, and God's love and all that stuff, because they know that their religion is not very pleasant. And think about what this guy has done for society. Think about other scientists, people in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, how they've helped people, how they saved countless lives. And according to the Christian doctrine, they're in hell if they don't get saved. Think about that for a moment. A person can go out and murder and rape, rob, sell drugs, pimp prostitutes, do a whole bunch of nasty, disgusting, vile stuff. I mean, just be completely disgusting. And they just get saved and they get to go to heaven. A child that's sexually abused, verbally and physically abused all their lives. Of course, they're not going to get saved. They're going to end up on drugs and on the street and all this stuff. They'll go to hell. Think about it. That's the Christian religion. And all Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all the other religions have is saying my feelings and my holy book says, and it predicted these science stuff that science now agrees. Our holy book believes this stuff. Stephen Hawking is better than every single Christian preacher, every single Muslim, well, not every single, because there's some good Christians, but every single creationist, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever, Stephen Hawking is worth billions of them. Billions and billions and billions of them. Now, I'm not a person that worships anybody. Stephen Hawking is not an idol of mine. I do have his books. I enjoy his books. He's not an idol of mine, but I consider him very brilliant. He knows a whole lot more about physics than I ever could hope to know, so I would never question him on his physics knowledge. But I'm just going to say I have much more respect for him than any of those people, some preacher. I remember when I used to be a Christian, some guy gave a sermon about Paul on the ship, and he warned them that, hey, if you don't do this and that, it was a storm, the ship was going to sink, and his message was, if I were you, I would believe the pastor. Well, no, if I were you, I would believe the scientist. And And please, when you hear about science on the news, remember that they're just sensationalizing it. They're not really reporting science accurately. They don't know how science works. Just because something the media says doesn't mean it's true. You got to go and look at a peer-reviewed science journal to see the truth. Not what you see on TV. Not what some talking head says. Okay? And these Christians, all they have is saying, oh, he's going to hell. Okay, prove that your hell exists. Prove that God exists. Prove that this God is your God. And you know, Christians and Muslims and Jews and all that, they might be somewhat right. You can't really prove that God does not exist. But, you know, is that really true? Think about that. Their holy books make a lot of claims that we can test. Think about that. And there are plenty on videos and all that. I don't want to get into too much depth in this because I don't want to make this video too long. But really, it is hilarious reading what these Christians have to say. You know, they're all, this basically like they're orgasming all over themselves and all over the place about the idea that they think that Stephen Hawkins is going to burn in some hell because he didn't get saved. That's what their religion is. That's what it does to people. Look at their comments. Look what it does to their thinking. It is so disgusting. I mean, they think that torture is as suffering is proper punishment for not believing in their God. What type of monster thinks that way? That's what makes the New Testament worse than the Old Testament. It's the New Testament that brings that garbage. It's the Muslim religion that teaches that garbage, not Judaism. It is garbage. Their religion is garbage. Their God, if he were to exist, is a monster, an evil, Hitlerish monster. Disgusting that anybody would think that hell is a proper punishment for any eternity of hell and suffering is a proper punishment for anyone. What type of monster would think that? Just absolutely disgusting. Jeez, so disgusting. Well, please like and subscribe. Hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. Please share it. And watch my other videos. Don't forget to check the description. There's a link to my website. You can check out my ebooks and stuff like that. And let me know what you think about Christianity and them making their comments about how he's busting hell wide open and but he regrets not getting saved and regrets being an atheist and all these other nasty stuff they're saying. And if you're a Christian, especially if you believe that God is love and merciful, how do you reconcile that with the fact that God says that you're going to hell? That people who don't believe him will go to hell. Because some people don't even get to hear about him. And how do you reconcile that with Ezekiel chapter 18? I can't remember the verse, and I'm going to do a video on that in a few days. How do you reconcile that with, you know, when you say Adam and Eve brought sin into the world and all that crap, and we're suffering for that? How do you reconcile that with Ezekiel 18, verse, I don't remember, I think 21? Or maybe it's 21:18. I don't remember. 18 or 21, whatever the hell. That where God is very specific that the Son should not be put to death for the sins of the Father, and the Father cannot be put to death for the sins of the Son. How do you explain it? I really want to know. I really do. Thank you.